Is it moving? It's moving! Okay.
Okay, we're not in a car.
But this is Neutral Zone Infraction / that Mediocre Sports Show.
Randy, watch the road.
Okay, no. I got to film the show.
Yeah, anyway. So today's topic is...
We're going to probably do a hodgepodge of topics. We're going to talk a little bit about the college going from 4 teams to 8 teams, the college playoff. Maybe we'll touch a little bit on silly fines that, we think are kind of ridiculous. And I also want to mention a little bit about the whole Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler thing. But we're going to try to do all of this in under 15 minutes because you can't put a bigger video than that on the internet.
No, we can't. And I have pressing business at home.
Yes, and angry people. Everybody's going to be so mad at you.
No one's angry. They're just disappointed in
They're
me.
disappointed. Well, that's true. They are more disappointed than anything else.
But it doesn't matter. So here we go.
I'm disappointed in you, Sean. Is that par for the course? Does that help?
Makes my day complete. So
okay, so we're just going to talk quickly about I want to do quick about the Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler thing. The whole thing with Peyton Manning maybe coming back when Brock Osweiler is winning us games.
That's fine.
The whole thing kind of stems from, I'd like to see Brock Osweiler go up against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati to see if he's really good enough to beat those teams.
I would agree.
And instead of putting Peyton Manning back in Pittsburgh in a really cold environment against a tough defense.
I would say, and I'm not going to say that I thought of this because, I don't have that kind of capacity, but I'm going to say I heard this, and it makes sense. You let Brock play the next games, and then you let Peyton come back for, what is it, the next 2. I think there's 5 games left, right?
No, we're down to only 4 games left.
Okay, so Brock plays the next game too. And then if Peyton's better, you could let him play. And if he's not, you got a playoff game to let, or your last game to let Brock settle in for the playoffs. The truth of the matter is Brock Osweiler is going to be fine. He'll be a decent quarterback. And I think he is. This just proves if you don't turn the ball over with our defense, you will win. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say Peyton's done. I don't believe he is. I think that athletes make a mistake and want to play the whole time, and I don't know if they even realize how bad they're killing the team when, as in his case, 4 interceptions. I've seen defensive players play with bum parts.
Yep.
And I can't believe your backup can play better with 2 arms than you are with maybe 1.
Yeah.
But in Peyton's case, he is hurt, and he, I think, gets hurt a lot easier than he used to get hurt, and that's just age. I mean, you know about that.
I am fine with that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know all about that.
No, I don't.
But the thing is, it's like, does Peyton Manning give you the best chance to win? This is what the people keep saying. Well, it's like Peyton Manning's playoff experience is what's going to come through. These are the same people. The same people that sit there and go, Peyton Manning is the best regular season quarterback of all time. So why are you guys trying to push Peyton Manning into the playoffs when all of the same people that are saying Peyton Manning should be there in the playoffs are the same people that say he's only a good regular season quarterback?
Peyton Manning's been to 3 Super Bowls. So he is a decent playoff quarterback. You know what? Playoffs? But anyway, playoffs are funny because, you really only play 2 games. Once you get to the playoffs, if you're one of the better teams, you play 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. They're really hard 2 games, unless you're the Patriots.
Yeah.
But in Peyton's case, does he give you? I don't know why we're running better than we were with Peyton. Is it because we're under center? If it is, then it works.
Well, there was actually a guy on one of the NFL channels who was a former running back. He even said taking the ball from a quarterback coming out from under center gives them, it's a totally different way to run, and they prefer it. They prefer running from the quarterback coming from under center and them coming towards the quarterback.
I would agree.
That's what they prefer to do. It's what most of them have always done as running backs.
I think it gives you opportunity.
When you're running out of the pistol, it's not the same.
Well, and they know that you're running in a lot of cases.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like it's very much, you are not Batman, but it's just one of those things where running backs, I think, prefer to come from the quarterback coming out from under. And besides, the Kubiak's offense works better under center than it does out of the pistol.
It does, and I'll say this: if you got a healthy Peyton Manning, a truly healthy Peyton Manning, your best, and he hasn't lost it. If he hasn't lost it. Because as an athlete, not that I know, but I listen to enough athletes talk. When you lose it, it goes quick.
Yep.
You know you're done. You can talk. I mean, Chris Carter, Golick said it. I heard Dave Logan say it. There's a lot of them will tell you they know they're done. If Manning is truly not done, and I don't think he is, and he is healthy, he does give you the best chance to win. If he doesn't turn the damn ball over, and you can't throw 4 interceptions in a game, and after you threw 2 and your foot hurt, you should have gone to the coach and said, I hurt, my foot hurts, and I just threw 3 interceptions, and I don't think I'm helping you. This team is good enough to win a Super Bowl, and I hate with Trent Dilfer as quarterback.
Yeah.
This team is good enough to win a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson at quarterback. This team is good enough to win a Super Bowl with Osweiler not throwing
interceptions. Basically, him being the game manager. Being a game manager.
I hate that word, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's what the word they always use.
Game manager is, you know what? If you don't turn the damn ball over, and if that's what they call it, fine. If Peyton doesn't turn the ball over, we'll be fine. But I'll tell you what. If any part of Peyton hurts in any way, suck your pride up.
I'll keep him on the bench.
And let the kid play. And you know what? From what I've heard about Manning, I know they all have huge egos. I can't believe he would jeopardize a team's chances if he's hurt.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like as a coach and as a GM and all this other stuff. You know, you can't just think about Peyton Manning's feelings and all this.
No.
Because if Peyton Manning can't do the job because he's hurt, then you've got an obligation to 52 other guys on that team and a coaching staff and an organization to put the best pieces out there. And if Osweiler gives you the best chance to win because he's healthy and Manning's not, you got to keep in Osweiler.
No one cares about my feelings when I'm working.
That's true. I don't care a bit.
No. I totally agree with you. And again, just Peyton, if you're hurt, stay on the bench. If you're not hurt, play.
If Peyton's 100% healthy,
play. You do give us a great chance. You really do. He does.
He's been
like
to
he's
3
going to
Super
watch.
Bowls. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. So don't say. But I'm just tired of the people saying, you know, all this. Oh, he's the best regular season quarterback, and then they say you should have him in the playoffs. You guys are the same ones that are complaining about his playoff losses. Don't throw him into the playoffs, and then all of a sudden he loses a playoff game, and then you're all pissed off again because he's the best regular season quarterback.
How interesting is it that Dan Marino, who never won a Super Bowl, you know, gets, I don't know if he gets more props, but I would say this. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, and yet everybody acts like he's lost 3. They treat him almost like they did John Elway after the 1990 Super Bowl against the 49ers when he'd lost 3.
Yep.
And thankfully he won these last 2, but Peyton Manning, they treat him like he's lost 3 Super Bowls. He is a world champion. Once you are a world champion, you will always be a world champion. Like once you're president, you will always be president, so to speak.
But see, and that's the double standard that poor Peyton Manning has over anybody else.
True.
Peyton Manning has the 1 Super Bowl ring, and all Elway needed was that 1 ring. All he needed was that 1 ring to validate his whole career. After he won that, they said one of the best quarterbacks ever. But for some reason, Peyton Manning is held to a different standard because he's only won 1 Super Bowl. They hold that over his head like it's some terrible thing. He's got 1 Super Bowl. The man has won.
What would have happened? And I know I'm bringing up something here, person, but what would have happened if Elway had won his first 2 Super Bowls, or even one of those first 2, and then lost the next 4? Or even the next, what would have happened then? And the next 3, and got blown out like we did.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, what if he'd only won 1 of the first 3, and then he loses the next, he loses 4 out of 5. Does he still go down as one of the best quarterbacks because he lost 4 out of 5 Super Bowls?
I mean, I'm just saying reverse everything. Let's just say in 86, they beat the Packers.
He doesn't get to ride off into the sunset.
No, he beats the Packers, and then the next 4, what if we'd have lost them? Well, we would have
beat the Giants? Because that was our first Super Bowl with Elway. What if we would have beat the Giants and then lost the next 4 Super Bowls?
And even get rid of the Redskin Super Bowl, but you lost you lost the next 3 Super Bowls the way we lost them at the end of his career. But he won it the first time, he went to 5 Super Bowls. I get that. I'm just kind of saying, what if he'd have only won one and then lost the next 3, or the last 3 that the ones we got killed in, if he'd have lost those at the end of his career at that score. That's almost how we treat Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning, he won his first Super Bowl, and then he threw that stupid pick to the Saints.
Yeah, but also think about, there's one other play people always forget about, and that's the onside kick that Hank Baskett had in his hands. And if he would have covered that ball up, you would have given Peyton Manning a short field coming out of that half.
Yeah.
So maybe there's another score that's on the board, and that interception that Manning throws. Or maybe Manning's not even in a position where he really needs to throw the ball anyway, and they're just running with Edgerrin James to run time off the clock.
But he is treated that way.
I mean, if Hank Baskett, who is supposed to be he's a wide receiver, supposed to have good hands, if he covers that ball up, you give Peyton Manning a short field, you may put on another touchdown.
So and the Broncos Super Bowl was just a debacle. I would like to also say something. We can move on if you want.
No, might as well just do the whole thing on this one because we only got like 3 more minutes left.
Yeah, I want to say. Oh, that's a good point. I want to say something too about Demaryius Thomas. I'm curious if he hasn't been put on defense because he's knocking balls down really good, and I'm just curious if he wants to play cornerback. If he feels like he's slapping the balls down to keep him from the defender, that's all well and good. But he is a receiver. He needs to be told that because you're supposed to catch the ball.
Well, here's the thing. Because Peyton Manning was throwing so many interceptions early, maybe he felt more like a defensive back than a wide receiver because he kept having to knock it down from the defensive guy getting it. Yeah, because the defensive guy always seemed to be in better position to get the ball than Demaryius was.
And that's fair, but I have to say, and I'm not saying Brock's throwing them everywhere to him, but when they hit you, in the stomach, I know that hurts, and then in the hands, I gotta believe you should catch those.
I would agree. I would agree a wide receiver making $14 million a year probably should only drop maybe 1 or 2 passes the whole season.
I don't care if it's league minimum. You catch the damn ball.
Catch it. Catch it. Demaryius, we're paying you so much money. Catch it. Oh, I swear to God, we will trade you for Brandon Marshall.
Oh, I can't do that. You know what I almost did?
What? What?
What you do.
Oh.
You do the cow thing. It's funny. That's all you need to know.
That's funny.
Okay, so.
But yeah, but Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He has a ring. Dan Marino doesn't have one. Jim Kelly lost 4. We look at him still as a hero. But it's like Jim Kelly lost 4 Super Bowls. He did it in a row. Nobody else has done that. 4 straight years.
You know what?
But still, there are still great quarterbacks out there that never won a Super Bowl.
What they did, it's amazing.
Yeah, 4 in a row is an amazing feat.
It's amazing they went 4 in a row. I mean, and that's another subject.
And the best mediocre quarterback of all time shows that he is one of the best mediocre analysts of all time as well when he said that Blaine Gabbert should be the quarterback next season for the San Francisco 49ers because he sees something special in him.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
He's
not only the best mediocre quarterback of all time, he is the best mediocre analyzer of quarterbacks because he's thinking that Blaine Gabbert can help that team win. Oh, Joe, you're so mediocre.
In the immortal words of worlds. In the immortal worlds of Charles Barkley, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Just
terrible.
By the way,
I think we should almost end on another show of mediocrity from the great Joe Montana, the greatest mediocre quarterback, greatest analyzer, mediocre analyzer.
He does good commercials.
He does, well, so he's good at being an actor.
He
also is pretty good at acting like a good quarterback, but he's mediocre. We all know.
And I liked Joe Montana. What have you done to me?
I have converted you to realize Joe Montana is mediocre.
Well, I don't know.
But he is the greatest mediocre quarterback. I have said that on many occasions.
I'll never be the greatest mediocre.
Maybe he sees that Blaine Gabbert could be a really good mediocre quarterback. Maybe that's what he sees.
You only got a few seconds here left, but what is it? The Broncos' offense, the line is not that great. What is Osweiler doing that Gabbert and some of these other guys aren't really getting done? Is our team? We must really have a good team, but offensively the line's not that great.
He's getting rid of the ball. He's going through his reads very quickly. He's getting rid of the ball fast, and if it's not there, you've seen him. He's taking a few sacks. He is not forcing anything, and that's why we're running. And the running game is better, so play action is working a lot more.
I gotta say this too. You screw me every time because usually you sit higher than me, and in this case, you are making me sit all the way over the scale. Can I get a break?
All right, we have to sign out.